Hello, hello. Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day, guys. Sliding into the weekend. Here we go. It's gonna be a big weekend here where I am too. So keep an eye on things, guys, because our lives are gonna go crazy this weekend. But anyway, guys, I have some things to talk about tonight. I get messages from time to time from people and different things that kind of spark my, I gotta get a couple things out of the way, spark my mind to put together just kind of a talk, I guess, more than anything. And if you're looking at the title, still waiting for a change, maybe this is the reason why. So I'm gonna just kind of talk about some things that maybe helped us, and that I feel like, are kind of what pushes us to I'm going to say success, but you know what? It's not always complete success. We're always a work in progress. So guys, if you're popping on here with me live, if you see a red live up in the corner, you can type live in the comments. Please let me know where you're watching from. I love to have people get on here, ask questions, interact in any way they can. So please just type live in the comments. Let me know where you're tuning in from. If you're catching me later, it'll say was live up in that corner. That just means you're catching the Facebook replay. Totally wonderful. Stop in, listen, and type replay in the comments. Let me know where you're watching from. My name's Jan. I do live in Southeast Nebraska. Hi, Cindy. And I love sharing our low carb to keto type lifestyle. You know what? Every time somebody said, I always hear low carb or taquito, low carb to keto type lifestyle. Okay. And I share that in a group called Diabetic Eats with Jan and Dave. I share recipes. I try to share motivational type things, just things about being healthier. You don't have to be diabetic to be in that group. Just maybe somebody looking to have a little healthier lifestyle, cut a few things out. And I'm going to talk a little bit about our journey, and everybody's journey, really. Hi, Debbie. So, just kind of real honest conversation tonight, okay? About my journey, Dave's journey, and if you're on a journey too, maybe some of this will hit home, okay? Whether it's health, it doesn't have to be health, mindset, energy, just feeling better day to day, getting your groove going and feeling like, hey, I'm on top of the world. More days than feeling like you're not on top of the world. Hey, Jackie. Hey, Carol. And here's the big thing that I feel like people, they get started and it's not a quick fix, guys. Absolutely not a quick fix, okay? You're not Amazon Prime, guys. So you know what? You're not going to be feeling better from whatever it is. And I'm just going to talk personally about my journey, which was weight loss and also helping Dave with his health. Okay. Hey, Debbie. Hi, Brenda. So those are the examples I'm going to give. But like I said, maybe you're just looking to feel better with your motivation day to day. Maybe you're looking for more energy. Maybe you're looking for a better mindset. Okay. Mindset is something besides weight loss that I've super duper changed around. So, like I said, you're not Amazon Prime, guys. You are not going to just flip that switch and have it in 2 days. Okay. So just kind of talking about this a little bit. We all have the tools to use, okay? We all use tools in life, hammer, saw, measuring, tape measure, whatever, you have all those things. And if you're building the house, okay, let's say you're building a house, okay? And you start using those tools on day one, okay? But then you put them down and you never use them again. The house doesn't build itself, right? Hey, Lil. Hey, Aunt. Is it Ina and Mary? So let's think about that. If you're given the tools, like I said, to build a house, but you pick them up for 2 or 3 days and you work on it and then you put them down for several weeks and then maybe you think, oh, maybe I should grab those for 2 or 3 days. That house is going to be a long, long build, or it's not going to build at all. Okay, so that's kind of the way our bodies are too, guys. If you're given a tool to use, whether it be low carb lifestyle, whether it, if it's mindset we're talking about, maybe it's a daily dose of a podcast or something like that that gets your mindset ready. Those are the types of things, guys, that you have to do daily. Because, it's if you don't use the tools, you don't build it, okay? So, think about it. It would be crazy to think that those tools are going to lay there and build themselves. You have to actually pick it up. And that's the way that reverts back to our bodies, okay? So nothing works unless you're using it, okay? That's what consistency means. So I talk a lot about being consistent. Hi, Joyce. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I talk a lot about consistency because I don't know that we were ever really consistent with a lot of things in our life. But we did find a tool, and we still use that tool every single day. That's our duos. Okay. I can't brag enough about them, guys. And I know maybe you get tired of listening to me talk about them, but I never could have done this. I never could have helped other people. I was stuck in a bad spot with a bad attitude and just felt like the world was caving in around me. Okay. And I was really only looking for weight loss for Dave. And what I found for myself and for him both was a whole new life. Okay. So they changed things for us physically, emotionally, mentally, the whole works. Okay. Now, if we had stopped, and I have people who do this, and I'm going to tell you a little story about me just a minute, but I have people who say, I didn't feel it. I can't do it, or, whatever. Okay. You got to keep going. Okay. Everybody's body is different. I was into this 3 weeks. I told my family I was going to quit because I was not seeing results. I was solely I had my blinders on for one thing. I wanted to lose weight. Okay. I wasn't losing any weight. I was 3 weeks in, but when I told my family I was going to quit, they looked at me in despair. I'll never forget the long faces and the big eyes. And they're like, no. And my son looked at me and says, no, Mom, you can't quit. I said, why? It's not doing anything for me. And he said, Mom, I don't know if you realize, but your moods are better. You don't snap at everybody around you. You're more easygoing. And, my husband kind of looked at me and I looked at him and he said, he's right. And so you take a little bit of time to reflect and you think, well, maybe it is helping me. And then my husband said, and you can order some for me, because I started before he did because we didn't want to disrupt his blood sugars, blah, 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 blah. So the journey began one direction and changed another, okay? But the thing is we kept going. We had the tools then, and we kept going, okay? The thing to remember, guys, is it's not a sprint, okay? It's not just a 100-meter dash and then you're done. This is a marathon. It's your life, okay? And if you want your life to be longer for a great big old long marathon, you got to keep using the tools, okay? So that's the thing I think that has helped me some too, guys, is letting go of perfection, okay? I am a little bit OCD, and my kids will tell you I'm a whole lot OCD, okay? And I am kind of a perfectionist, even though I was in a bad spot, I wanted perfection. And I still am that way quite a bit. But, and I'm going to be real honest with you guys here. When we started all of this lifestyle, I used to think I had to eat perfect. I had to be perfect. I had to do everything right, okay? But I have now found out that's not totally true, okay? We want progress over perfection, okay? That's what works. Every day, you're getting just a little bit farther. So if it's mindset you're looking for, you know, maybe you only snapped 5 times today instead of 10. Maybe you had enough energy today to walk an extra block, or maybe you had enough energy that you only took a 30-minute nap instead of a 2-hour nap. Okay, guys? So that's what I'm talking about. Progress over perfection. Do your best every single day, even if it's not perfect. Okay? You know, drinking water, things like that, okay? So yesterday I didn't drink enough water. Today I got 4 ounces more in than I got in yesterday. I'm going to continue to build on that. And that's where our duos come in too, guys. We never stopped. Never, ever stopped them, okay? Now, guys, you've heard me talk about the duos. If you need information or if any of this stuff resonates with you, drop duos in the comments and we can talk, okay? And I have a special deal through midnight tomorrow night for anybody who is who's interested in those duos. I can get you kind of a little discount. So message me would be the best thing. I'll check my messages as the evening goes on here quite a bit. But sometimes Facebook loses the comments in here and it takes me a couple days to find them. Hi, Jane. Hey, Allison. Little steps count. You are correct. So like I was saying, if you want to talk about the duos and we want a special deal, hit my inbox, please. Hi, Diane. So, but the thing is you get back on track without the big heavy guilt. Okay. That's the good thing. Because when you focus on your progress, it's like the stair step analogy. Just look at the first step. Don't look at the whole staircase. So that's the thing. Focus on your progress, just that first step, not the perfection of getting clear to the top of the staircase, okay? And then you'll be less likely to quit. You just keep showing up, and that's when things start changing, okay? Honestly, it is, okay? So, like I said, with us, the duos were the game changer. They helped us pivot our lives from here over to here. And they're a tool that we still use every single day. And I've had people say to me, well, I don't want to have to take something the rest of my life. And it's like, you know what? The thing is I don't have to take it every single day of my life. I want to. Because, well, number one, they support my metabolism. They support my mood, my focus. They just make me feel lighter. They make the day lighter. Does that make sense? Hi, Debbie. You know, so that's one of my tools that I won't let go of. And I use that tool every single day. Now, like I said, the Diabetic Eats group can be a tool for anybody out there. You don't build your life by accident, guys. You have to be intentional. One brick at a time. Find the brick that fits in the hole that you need, and that's what you do. You start building, okay? One habit, okay? You've got that habit down. Now you're going to add a second habit. And when you get both those habits together, you add that third habit, whatever it may be. You know, my habit was my duos. And then I added low carb. And, you know, I've added my 1 minute with God every morning. I've added some great mindset people to my life. I listen to them every single day. You know, those are all habits, okay? And like I said, you just keep building, okay? So that's kind of my thing, guys. Like I said, I don't want to say it frustrates me, but it reminds me of the old me when I get messages from people who say, I can't do that. Because I tell this to my daycare kids too. Never tried. You have to try it. Okay? So, like I said, if you're ready to stop starting all the time over and over and over, and actually build something, that's the key. Because if you start and stop, you're really not building anything. You have to start and then just keep placing and keep placing. Hi, Lisa. And keep placing things on top to actually build what you want. Now, I know that sounds like work, guys, but you are worth it. You're so worth it. And guys, I'd love to have you join me in the group, Diabetic Eats with Jan and Dave. You know I have that group. You're welcome. Everybody is welcome in there. Drop group in the comments if you need to be in that group. Like I said, recipes, all kinds of things, just the gamut. But I have one other group that I can get out a good invite to also, and that's about our duos. So if you would like to be in a testimonial group about the duos, send me a friend request so that I can add you. It's the only way I can get you in there. And send me a message that says, we need to talk about the duos, okay? Come hang out with us. We're fun. We're a fun group. I mean, we do have a good time. I'm not going to lie. In both groups, we do, okay? So if you want to be in Diabetic Eats with Jan and Dave, drop group in the comments. I'm going to leave you a link and get you in there. Or you can request to join. I have a hard time adding people to that group. I don't know why. Now, the other group, I can't add unless we're friends on Facebook. So send me a friend request and send me a message that says you want to talk about the duos, okay? Now, like I said, I'm going to recap here just a little bit, okay? You have to have that progress over perfection, okay? Lose the perfection, get some progress in. Don't put your tool belt down, okay? More than likely, I always tell people this, you know, 1 month, and I'm going to use this for an example, 1 month of our duos is probably not going to fix everything that's wrong, okay? Because you didn't get to where you are now in one single month. Okay, whether it be weight, whether it be mental, whether it be anxiety, those types of things, you don't get there in 1 month. So it might take more than 1 month to fix it. Okay, so that's kind of my thing. And it's the same thing with your food, guys. You didn't get to be diabetic in a week. So it's going to take more than a week to correct it. You didn't get to the weight you're at if you're looking to lose weight in a month. It's going to take more than a month to fix it. And that's the best and the healthiest way. So anyway, guys, that is kind of all I have. Sorry, I've been on my soapbox, but I would love to help anybody who's looking for a change. If you need it and you need help, I'm here to take your hand and we're going to walk through this together. Okay? I will help you. That's a promise, guys. That's a promise. So enjoy the rest of your Wednesday evening. We are headed to Polkas in the Park. Like I said, oh, I got something messing up here on my thing. The big celebration this weekend kind of kicks off tonight. Polkas in the Park is tonight. We're going to head down there and listen to some great polka music. And the alumni band from here, we have an alumni marching band that from the high school here. They are fantastic, and I do believe they're playing down there. So guys, if you're in Nebraska and you're not planning to come to Wilbur this weekend, you really should, because it's a good time, lots of things to do. And if you are coming to town, send me a message. Maybe we'll grab a coffee or something like that together. I'd love to get to know everybody out there. So enjoy the rest of your evening, guys, and we'll chat later. And remember, smile, pass that smile on. Bye-bye, guys.